big money. I still haven't seen these streets cleaned up.
We
And-
continue to address that with them.
You know, they
And-
may be doing change orders, but we still got a irritation on the part of some people that they could resolve pretty quick if the communication is going to them directly and they take the initiative to do it. To me, that taints their image in my eyes.
I mean, we talked about Daisy Street, it's just as bad as it was the day we talked about it a month ago. What's the street that runs beside the police station and the church, the Baptist church?
Chestnut.
Just-
Chestnut. If you look at Chestnut, Marty, the patch they did on Chestnut, it's terrible. I mean, it's got an inch of gap in it. I mean, and it just.
I'm not sure if that's TA Lovin or their other contractor, Herring Rivenbark, but if there's other streets, if you'll send
Marty,
them,
we shouldn't have to.
I know.
You
I
got a
know.
dadgum supervisor over this stuff, make him look at it,
I will.
okay?
I wanted to get the specific areas that we're talking about so people aren't complaining,
Well,
because
the
they're not
best-
complaining to me.
Well, they don't know you.
They're
And
complaining to
the
you.
complaints are
you
from
folks.
us, because we know better.
Have you ever fixed Jefferson Street?
Do what?
Jefferson Avenue, have you ever fixed that bad place in Jefferson?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
Jackson Street's still bad.
I mean, that place.
I mean, to me, what y'all ought to do, or you and whoever's over this project for you, ought to get in a daggum car and ride each one of these streets.
Okay.
And you got enough sense to know if it needs anything or not. I mean, that ought to be that easy.
Marty, you got a phone number they can call if someone has a particular issue?
Yeah, my office numbers, or if they want to go directly to the construction inspector, call my office number, 919-580-4377.
But I think
And
the responsibility should be on the contractor, like the mayor said. They've got plenty of people, have someone designated to drive up and down every single street where they've done work on.
Take some of that 35,000 miles a month and put a little bit towards
And I don't see
inspection.
a change order for that either.
I've got a meeting with them, tomorrow morning, so I
Well,
will.
it's a big deal, you know? I've been talking about this since October. I've written 2 letters to the city manager about it. And I've talked about it in these meetings. And I drive down the same street every single day, and I see nothing done. There's no excuse for that. When they come in here and want $500,000 and $1 million and da-da-da, well, show me that you're giving us back something by responding to what we're asking them to do.
I have one more question. Are some of these roads still in disrepair because of future excavation that may need to be done, like, say?
I do know Mulberry Street,
So by the
down there
post-
toward Claiborne,
What
they're
about
not
by the
done
post-
with that.
By the post office, where it's patched up like Frankenstein up there, going up the hill?
Yeah, that's
Is
one
that-
of the streets I'm gonna put on the 2021
Yes, sir.
fiscal year paving.
Mulberry up.
I've been wanting to do that one for 2 years, but this project has this and the other project held it up. So we intend to get that one.
Tell them to patch that cut they made in the pavement at the corner of Vine and John Street. That cars, it's about a foot wide and about 5 feet long. The cars drive over it every day.
Okay.
All right, anything else? All right, what's y'all's desire on this? Do what? Yeah, we need a motion to approve it or not approve it.
I'll make a motion that we approve that item.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. All right, we let you off easy this time now, Marty.
Thank you, sir.
All right, item J.
Item J is a contract award for the 2020 street paving improvements project. On Tuesday, February 25th, 8 sealed bids were received for the 2020 street and paving improvements project. They're listed below. This project includes Oak Hill Drive from North Berkeley Boulevard to Green Drive, East Chestnut Street from Slocum Street to South Leslie Street, Hawthorne Street from Oleander Avenue to Andrews Avenue, and Mimosa Street from Claiborne Street to Randolph Street. Weaver's Asphalt and Maintenance Company submitted the low bid for this project for a total cost of $641,711. Again, there's the breakdown of the bids. The bids for this project have been reviewed by the engineering department, checked for accuracy, and found to be in order. We've also reviewed the financing of the project with the finance director and determined that funds are available in street bonds. Staff checked the 3 references. All of our contractors are required to give references for projects that are similar to this. Staff checked the 3 references provided by Weaver's Asphalt and received a good report from 2 of the companies. The 3rd reference could not be reached. Staff recommends the City Council, by motion, adopt the attached resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a contract for $641,711 with Weaver's Asphalt and Maintenance Company for the 2020 Street Paving Improvements Project. And the 3, where's my piece of paper? The 3 they submitted was, one of them was DOT. It was adding a turn lane, repaving and thermoplastic, pavement markings and milling. And the other one that we received comments from was Town of Nashville. They did street milling and repaving on that job. And they got pretty good marks on that, so they should be able to do this.
Randy, do you see the street that you initially asked to be paved?
Well, I doubt they're on this because this isn't our repaving.
These were approved. I know council approved, where did my, council approved Oak Hill Drive and East Chestnut Street in a previous meeting. And then Hawthorne Street was requested during the council retreat to be added. That was by Councilman Foster at that time.
Okay,
And then Mimosa Street was requested to be added by Councilman Broadway.
okay, so we haven't gotten to the other paving concerns right
No, they'll be coming up in this next fiscal year's
now?
budget.
Okay, thank you.
All right, is there a motion to approve or disapprove the street paving improvements? Okay. You second?
I'll second.
Okay. All right, any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion's approved. All right,
Thank you.
thank you, Marty. Next, we got the public comment period policy amendment. Tim?
Yes, sir. North Carolina General Statute 160A 81.1 implemented a requirement that council must provide at least 1 period for public comment per month at a regular meeting of the board. Currently, the public comment period is held at each meeting, and public hearings are normally held at the last meeting of the month. On March 10th, 2020, North Carolina Governor Executive Order 116 declared a state of emergency due to coronavirus 19. On March 27th, North Carolina Executive Order 121 mandated stay-at-home policy to mitigate community spread of COVID-19. Section 2, paragraph 6 defines essential government operations to provide for or support the health, safety, and welfare of public. Each government body shall determine its essential government operations and identify employees or contractors necessary to perform those functions. In keeping with the intent of North Carolina Governor Stay-at-Home Executive Order and North Carolina General Statute 168-81.1, staff recommends council amend the current public comment period policy to be held at the first meeting of the month to follow approval of council meeting minutes effective April 20, 2020.
Comments, thoughts?
I have a question about this. I do know that before COVID-19 came about, there were some council members who wanted to limit our public comment to only once a month. And I truly hope if the board approves to do this once a month, that it will be brought back up once we get past this COVID-19 to go back to how things were.
Yeah, I think you definitely can do that. Is there a motion one way or the other?
I make a motion, we adopt the public comment and public hearings as stated.
And just so, if I understand it, the public comment period will be the first meeting of the month, because we want to be sure we get this on Facebook and all the social media stuff. And then the second meeting of the month, we won't have public comment, but we'll have anything to do with our zoning changes or anything like that.
Yes,
That's what we're saying? You made a motion?
Well, may I have a discussion?
Go ahead.
My only concern is there may be something at the first of the month that is an issue and it hadn't been resolved. So that kind of suppresses someone's voice if they have to come back because that issue hasn't been resolved or it's not being worked on. I mean, I think that everybody understands that that you can't run up here because of this pandemic. I don't think that is something that we need to enact. I think that people already know it naturally. As you could tell, no one's here.
All right, so we had a motion. Is there a second? Any discussion? Any more discussion?
What's the motion on the floor? I missed.
Have public comment first meeting of
For the time being with the COVID-19.
All right. All right, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed likewise. Motion carries. All right. City manager's report.
Yes, sir, a bit of a COVID-19 update. You can find the latest information on our city website, goldsboronc.gov. You can check our important announcements, to include North Carolina Governor Executive Orders. You can also hit the link there for COVID-19, which will take you to the Wayne County Health Department site, where you'll get the latest numbers from them. Just so everyone knows, we've postponed and canceled events until at least May 15th, or otherwise directed. Parks and rec facilities are closed until further notice, with the exception of the tennis courts, pickleball, and golf, and parks and trails, where social distancing can be done. We've limited office visits to by appointment only, and conducted virtual meetings, phone conversations, and online applications. Our police department, fire department, public works, public utilities are all on duty doing their jobs. I'd ask that our residents and visitors do your part by staying at home unless conducting essential work and exercise best social distance practices. The Wayne County Department of Health site, as I mentioned, on COVID-19 has the latest information on the cases within Wayne County. We've had a few people ask those questions. As of today, there are 23 cases in Wayne County, 0 deaths. In North Carolina, there were 2,870 cases and 33 deaths. You can dial North Carolina 211, it's available 24/7 to answer any COVID-19 questions. Wayne County Public Information Hotline is now available Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m., and weekends, 10 to 2. You can dial 919-705-1800 for any Wayne County issues. The CDC, Center for Disease Control, now recommends people with mild symptoms stay at home and call your doctor if you need care. If you don't have a primary doctor, you can visit the unchealthcare.org. And if an emergency, of course, at any time, you can dial 911 to get assistance. Thank you.
All right, anything, that's it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, next we go to mayor and council member comments and reports. We've got several resolutions that everybody else is gonna help me read, because I get winded when I start reading. But before I turn that over, I do want to, two things. I want to thank all our employees, all the healthcare employees, all these folks that are out there risking their life so that we can keep operating as a community, as a city, as a town and all that. There's a lot of people doing really good work. There's a lot of people donating. There's just a lot of good stuff. This community always comes together in a time of crisis. So to those that are doing that, I want to just thank them very much on behalf of all the citizens. What we do have, I think, is we do have some folks that are not taking this serious, and they're not staying home, they're not sheltering at home. If you go to Lowe's, oh my goodness, or places like that, I mean, it's crazy. So I do encourage our citizens to take this seriously, to stay away from people, to stay at home. I don't know if there's another week of it or 2 weeks I don't know what it is. But I do want to be sure that our folks are as safe as they can be. And I just think everybody, as they say, this too shall pass. I just don't know when. But anyway, so next we've got a resolution to express appreciation for services rendered by Christopher Sauls as an employee of the city of Goldsboro for more than 22 years. And Taj is going to read that for me.
Resolution number 2020 through 2021. Resolution expressing appreciation for services rendered by Christopher Sauls as an employee of the city of Goldsboro for more than 22 years. Whereas Christopher Sauls retired on April 1st, 2020 as a fire captain with the Goldsboro Fire Department of the city of Goldsboro with more than 22 years of service. And whereas Chris began his career on July 22nd, 1998 as a firefighter with the Goldsboro Fire Department. And whereas on February 2nd, 2004, Christopher was promoted to fire engineer with the Goldsboro Fire Department. And whereas on September 3rd, 2014, Chris was promoted to fire captain with the Goldsboro Fire Department, where he has served until his retirement. Whereas Chris has proven himself to be a dedicated and efficient public servant who has gained the admiration and respect of his fellow workers and the citizens of the city of Goldsboro. And whereas the mayor and city council of the city of Goldsboro are desirous on behalf of themselves, city employees, and the citizens of the city of Goldsboro of expressing to Chris Sauls their deep appreciation and gratitude for the service rendered by him to the city over the years. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the mayor and city council of the city of Goldsboro, North Carolina, that we express to Chris our very best wishes for success, happiness, prosperity, and good health in his future endeavors. This resolution shall be incorporated into the official minutes of the city of Goldsboro and shall be in full force and effect from and after this 6th day of April 2020.
Taj, can you offer that as a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the resolution for Christopher Saul's retirement with the city of Goldsboro for 22 years.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. The motion passes. Thank you. All right, next we got Child Abuse Prevention Month proclamation, and Ms. Brandy's going to do that for us.
Child Abuse Prevention Month proclamation. Whereas children are vital to our state's future success, prosperity, and quality of life, as well as being our most vulnerable assets. Whereas all children deserve to have safe, stable, nurturing homes and communities they need to foster their healthy growth and development. Whereas child abuse and neglect is a community responsibility affecting both the current and future quality of life of a community. Whereas communities that provide parents with the social support, knowledge of parenting and child development, and concrete resources they need to cope with stress and nurture their children, ensure all children grow to their full potential. Whereas effective child abuse prevention strategies succeed because of partnerships created among citizens, human service agencies, schools, faith communities, healthcare providers, civic organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community. Therefore, I do hereby proclaim April as Child Abuse Prevention Month and call upon all citizens, community agencies, faith groups, medical facilities, elected leaders, and businesses to increase their participation in our efforts to support families, thereby preventing child abuse and strengthening the communities in which we live.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have the Week of the Young Child proclamation. Councilmember Broadway.
I have the Week of the Young Child proclamation. Whereas the city of Goldsboro values the importance of children's positive experiences in shaping their learning and developing during their earliest years. And whereas the city of Goldsboro supports high-quality, accessible, and affordable child care and early childhood education and quality education, the start and health of the child from birth are vital to building a strong community, state, and country. And whereas Partnership for Children of Wayne County and North Carolina Partnership for Children, along with the North Carolina Association for the Education of Young Children, North Carolina Child Care Coalition, and all child care centers and preschools in the city of Goldsboro join together in recognizing and supporting the people and programs that are committed to providing high-quality early childhood education and service. Whereas the Week of the Young Child is a time to thank and recognize our early childhood educators that care for and educate our youngest children. And whereas the week of the young child is a time to recognize that children's opportunities are our responsibilities and to commit ourselves to ensuring that every child experiences the type of environment that will promote their early learning. Therefore, Chuck Allen, Mayor of the City of Goldsboro, does hereby proclaim April the 11th through the 17th, 2020 as Week of the Young Child and commend its observance to all citizens of the City of Goldsboro.
Thank you, sir. Next, we got the Reentry Week Proclamation by Councilmember Williams.
Reentry Week Proclamation. Whereas 73.5 million Americans have some kind of criminal record, and whereas 650,000 are released from federal and state prisons each year, and whereas promoting the rehabilitation and reintegration of individuals into society with a future is an important goal for all communities, and whereas policies that limit a second chance are detrimental to partnering with counties and private industry employment, and whereas engaging the private sector and honoring champions of change are an important tool, along with proper education and reducing recidivism. And whereas the City of Goldsboro wants to collaborate with the Wayne County Reentry Council, Wayne County Chamber of Commerce, Mifi O'Sheath Project Incorporated, Wayne Community College, and local industry to promote reentry efforts for motivated individuals to compete for jobs, attain sustainable housing, support their families, and contribute to their communities. Now therefore, Chuck Allen, Mayor of the City of Goldsboro, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim the second week of April 2020 as Reentry Week.
Thank you, sir. Now we'll go to Councilmember Comment. Since you got the floor, Councilmember Williams, you want to go ahead?
I just want everyone to, stay safe. Remember to the social distancing, and also remember that we have seniors that live downtown in Goldsboro at the Waynesboro House. A lot of times we forget we have a senior residence right here downtown. So if there's, someone that's willing to bring some health items that they may need, some food, please do that. I mean, let's not forget about our seniors there. There's some wonderful people, and I promise you, they'd be really thankful if you have anything to give them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Brawley?
I'd like to again thank all of our employees on the city, especially our police force, our EMS, and our firemen who are out there fighting, actually risking their lives, and our health professionals. When you talk about the hospital, they're fighting without equipment. They're working very hard. The last thing is just everybody stay home. Let's protect everybody.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Pollock?
I just want everybody to pray for a spirit of calmness in the midst of panic and fear. Also want to encourage all of us to build strong relationships at home with our families and not to pass responsibilities off to others to render care to our responsibility. This time is now time that we can social distance and build better relationships at home. And last but not least, I'd like to acknowledge a business owner in my district that has contributed over 2,000 masks by way of UNC hospital and health facilities. His name is Tyler Kim, and he owns Kim's Beauty Supply. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Matthews?
So I just want to encourage everyone to continue to follow the safety precautions that have been put in place so that we can get to the end of this together very quickly. And I personally want to thank workers that are at gas stations and grocery stores and other stores that are still open, because they too are our frontline workers, and they too are coming in contact with this virus. So other than that, have a good night and stay safe.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilmember Ham?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I agree and support the comments that have been made by the previous council members, but I also want to mention that Ms. Sherry Archibald at United Way sends out a email periodically that are showing what good deeds are being done by various organizations in Goldsboro, and also addresses other needs that are needed to be met. But I read her email, and I'm really impressed with the compassion that our businesses and individuals have, and I see organizations like the Chamber of Commerce, Wages, Goldsboro Housing Authority, our own fire department, other businesses that are not open for business, but yet are contributing in ways of preparing meals, giving donations, et cetera, et cetera. We've got our charity organizations that are doing the same thing. We've got churches. And then finally, last but not least, and very important is the fact, we've got a lot of individuals out here in this community that are taking food to the food pantry or to individuals. And we have to be very proud of our city and the people that live in it, as well as the county, of course, or that are aware of the needs of other people and are trying to assist those that are in need. And I commend every one of those individual organizations, businesses, and individuals.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Raycott?
Yes, you know, whenever I set up a checking account online or a credit card account or whatever, if you try to access it and you don't know your password and username, they'll always ask you for questions like what was your favorite pet's name or what was your mother's maiden name was. But one of them, they always says, who was your favorite hero as a child? You know, I had many as a child, but I have many more now. Public health workers, fire and police, public works, sanitation, city staff, delivery drivers, mail personnel, grocery store workers, pharmacies, fast food workers, restaurants that are still takeout and delivery, funeral homes, and all other essential services. They are my heroes.
Thank you, sir. All right, seeing no other business, we'll stand adjourned, and thank everybody for coming.